We're going to talk quickly today, guys, about kind of processing information. I'm going to focus on three different things that I've kind of been talking about a lot lately with people that I know and some questions that have come through the YouTube channel. And I only hold my own opinions and what works best for me. So my best advice whenever it comes to something that people are asking me or if they're presenting me with information is just look at the information, do your research, and then get out and experience whatever it is that you want to know about, because that's the best way to know not only if it works, but more importantly, if it works for you. So number one, with my running videos, people have talked about the idea of the body that the damage that the body incurs, with running, and if it overbalances or unbalances the benefits that you get from it. So number one, I'm going to say the information is out there. Yes, all of that repetitive motion will pile up and it's going to probably create some issues. But generally speaking, when you're reading articles like this, you're talking about people who are running 5-10 miles multiple times a week, half marathoners. And so when we're talking about adding a 15-minute run a couple of times a week, we're really not in that category. Also, many people who are adverse to running are the bigger guys who are lifting a lot of weight. And if you look at the way the body's made, I would almost assume that we're more acclimated or more perfectly designed to do a little bit of running than we are to squat 600 pounds. So everything comes with its risk and reward. I would love to be able to run a couple miles a week and lift 600 pounds. That's going to make a longer goal, and it's going to put more damage on my joints and stuff like that. But it's about what's enjoyable to you, what your goals are, and how you're going to reach them. So there's benefits to all sorts of things. But it doesn't mean we have to disregard certain information one way or the other. So yes, running can put some damage on the body. So can lifting weights, you can get injured, you can, all of these things happen anywhere. So look at the risk and rewards, but experience it for yourself because there are benefits to all of those types of things. Two, obviously, I was coughing a lot on my last video, and so I got some questions coming back to me on that. Okay, look, there are people who are very much against, smoking weed. There's people who are big proponents of it. Again, it's something that I like to do specifically for the mindset that it puts me in, for training, jiu-jitsu, running. It really just helps me kind of hone in and perform better. This is something we're seeing now with all types of professional athletes that are using it, and it's essentially been put in the performance enhancing drug category. So I'm not saying that everybody needs to go out there and start ripping a bong. What I am saying is if you haven't tried it, you might want to try it. If you don't want to try it, don't. But just because you don't use it or it doesn't work for you, doesn't mean that it doesn't work for anybody, and doesn't mean that it doesn't have positive effects here or there. Also, again, comes with risk and reward. The second thing is kind of a breakdown in between conventional deadlift, sumo deadlift, high bar squat, and low bar squatting. People think that the information or that the findings on these things are exclusive to one another. They are not. I think you should do both, and I actually do both because I find the one, shockingly enough, helps the other, and vice versa. It also can allow mechanically for your body mechanics. It can allow for better lifts for some people depending on where their hinge points are and their hip mobility is. But ultimately, generally speaking, most of these things are good for both sides of the fence. My sumo squat definitely helps out my conventional squat. Sometimes I'll PR doing sumo, sometimes I'll PR conventional. It all depends on how my body's working that day and how comfortable I feel. Same with the high bar, low bar squat. These things can actually really complement each other. And if you're aware and have experienced the one, you're actually going to know whether it's better for you, better in general, but generally speaking with this is we're looking at what's better for us. And in order to do that, you need to stop closing your mind off to one thing or the other and kind of trying it and experiencing it correctly, and then making the decision for yourself and processing all that information correctly.